All right. Hello, everybody. David Rutz here with David Allen Capital. Today's subject of the Leadership Locker Room is titled Course Correct. Course Correct. All right. Here we are rolling into June. We are almost halfway through with the year. In, less than a month, we'll be halfway through 23. We just hit 23. Heck, we just hit the year 2000. If you're in your 50s like I am, the year 2000 doesn't seem long ago. All that concern for 1999 coming and all the frantic feeling about the world shutting down. And some of you were born long after that, so you're not sure what we're talking about. But the digital world was, oh my goodness, what are we going to do with the electric grids shut down and everything else? A lot of concern, nothing happened, right? Well, here we are halfway through 23, and it's been a lot of years since then. And course correction is about, I'm going to talk about your navigation in your car, because most of us understand that, or navigation on our phone, or walking on a map or walking into town, whatever. If you're going the wrong way and once you realize it, it's your ability to, not beat yourself up, but just correct your course and learn for next time. But correct your course, you can get to your destination. Common sense, right? But very rarely do people course correct toward their goals. Very rarely do people course correct toward their lifetime. It's not too late for anybody. If you're in your 70s, 80s, 90s, it's not too late to make a difference, to course correct. If you're not going on the path you want to be on, you turn ahead, turn right ahead, turn left ahead, whatever you got to do. And if you're not on the right path and if you're in your 20s and you go, man, I could have done better in high school and gotten myself better prepared for last night I was at my daughter's graduation party, and there's one girl got over $300,000 for the scholarships at Johns Hopkins. Another one got $300,000 in scholarships at Michigan. And, you look at that and you say, all she did was do good in high school. Paid like a, professional athlete, 300 grand in free education. Now you could be a real good football player and get a scholarship to Michigan or Johns Hopkins, or you can do real good in school, right? The long story short is that's a heck of a lot of value just for getting some good grades, right? And there's millions of people throughout the country that get free education because of their grades. Well, most people like me, I graduated from high school and I had a 2.0 or something like that. I didn't take high school seriously. A lot of people don't. Unfortunately, most of my children took high school seriously and got themselves good enough grades to go to college if they wanted to, right? I didn't. I had to go to junior college for a couple of years because I didn't take high school serious. I had to course correct. I didn't get free education, unfortunately, because of that. I earned some scholarships when I was a junior in a college because I course corrected after high school. I didn't course correct in high school. Some of you are like me. Others, you got real good grades in high school. You course corrected in 9th grade or 10th grade. Good for you. That's fabulous. Well, in your financial career, have you course corrected yet? Do you need course correct? In your D.A.C career, have you course corrected yet? Do you need to course correct? That's it. That's what I want you to ask yourself. And what course you need to be on if you're not on the right course. Well, that entirely depends on where you're trying to go, right? So Leadership Locker Room, guys, if you haven't already done the game plan, do it. If you haven't already done the what if I was already at the top ranks of the company, what's the first 20 things I would do differently? What would I buy? Who would I help? If you haven't done that yet, do that. And you may learn that the destination you want to go to isn't defined. So you don't feel a need to course correct because you have no defined destination. What are you shooting for? What are you trying to make happen? When I was in high school, I thought I was going to become a draftsman like my older sisters, older brother, and dad. And they all went to junior college where they got drafting associate classes and were hired at General Motors. And I thought that's what I was going to do. That was the destination I was on. I didn't need to course correct. I was able to leave school early, go to the local beach, sail our friend's Hobie Cat, play every day. Homework? Why? I'm going to junior college. I'm going to be a draftsman. Why? I don't need to get all A's. Why would I need to get all A's? I'm going to have fun. I'm making the bet. I worked 3 jobs, whatever. I was always working 30, 40 hours a week while I was in high school and not getting good grades. I didn't have to course correct. My destination didn't demand it. See the story? And it wasn't until after I started taking drafting classes and then I got the bug to be a business owner. Thank God to a movie called Wall Street. I always had little businesses part-time, but there was a movie called Wall Street I watched and I thought, you know what? I want to go be a stockbroker. I want to do something different than be a draftsman. I want to be involved in business. I've always been entrepreneurial. And then I learned of something called business school, and you could transfer. The universities would forgive your high school if you had 2 years of college. They wouldn't look at your high school transcripts. They'd only look at your college transcripts once you have 2 years in. So wait a minute, I can course correct and I can start doing real good in school as a sophomore and then get to my junior year of college and then present those transcripts to a university. Yeah. So schools I couldn't even apply at, I ended up getting accepted to. I couldn't even apply in high school, but I was able to get accepted and get scholarships from because of a course correction. So it's only to share the destination matters. I was no smarter. I had a different destination. So what did I take serious? I took serious my schoolwork because I had a destination called University Business School, and I wanted to go there. And there were requirements to apply and then requirements to get accepted, right? And so if I wanted to get accepted, I had to hit those requirements. Common sense, right? You all have gotten things where you course corrected, or maybe you haven't, and maybe it's time you do it for the first time. But the point is the destination determined it. I didn't fail in high school. I accomplished my goal. I had a ton of fun. I graduated and I started my drafting classes. So I succeeded. I didn't fail. I thought the people that weren't ever having fun were failing. But they were on a different destination. They wanted to go to university. They knew it when they were in high school. So they did sacrifice going to the beach. They didn't go to as many concerts. They did ignore some things because they were in mode of student, just different destination. Nothing wrong with someone who says, I don't want to finish high school. If they're on a destination to be an entrepreneur and they go, I'm never going to use my education. I'm not learning anything there. I'm learning more on YouTube. I'm learning more in the real world. I don't need a degree. Well, there's nothing wrong with that if their destination is different than someone else's destination. Now, you may go, that's ridiculous. Well, maybe because you are a W-2 employee and you want to have certain interviews that you can go to as a W-2 employee, and you need that high school education or that college degree. But if you don't want to be a W-2 employee, you're on a different destination. You don't need that degree, right? It's just a fact. Nor do you need a high school diploma, in fact. So the long story short, course correct here is, do you need to create a different destination in your mind? That's all I wanted to talk about in the locker room today. Why? Because the level of your hunger is based on how badly you want that destination. It's really that simple. And to the extent that you have a destination defined that you really, really want, you can viscerally feel it, the gap between where you're trying to go and where you are, where you want to go, that gap creates motivation if and only if you really want that. You know what that destination is. Here's your current lifestyle level, but here's where you want to go. And if you really want that motivation, no one had to ask me to study when I knew my destination was, I have to get all A's and to ignore my high school. And I can't get below an A in college for the first 2 years. And if I do that, I will get accepted to the university I want to go to. So what happened to that motivation? Didn't ski as much, didn't go to the beach as much, didn't hang out on weekends as much, still worked as many hours, did everything, but school was first. School was first. And you know what helped in that little destination change? My girlfriend had the same goal. She was trying to go from can't get into the university to go to that same university. My closest friend had that same goal. I'm going to go to junior college for 2 years and go to that university. And you know what? His girlfriend had the same goal. So none of us could get accepted by that university out of high school. Yet all four of us got accepted to that college 2 years later. Because why? We all had one destination. We were all trying to go. We had groupthink. We had no one could question our efforts in consideration of what we were trying to do, because our close friend group, we were all on the same page. Who are you teamed up with in D.A.C.? Are you teaming up with some friends who have the same type destination? Are you going for it, or are you a lone ranger? If you're a lone ranger, you need, you can do it. Be tenacious. You got to be tenacious, right? And by the way, when you get to the first destination, you better set another one or you become complacent, right? So if you're trying to achieve a lifestyle that requires a higher level, then you got to have a destination to go there. So how do you need to course correct? It may start by just redefining where your destination is. Those who don't have a plan to go anywhere, they fail to plan, and they can plan to fail, because they'll succeed at going nowhere. So they'll succeed. I succeeded at not going to college out of high school because I wasn't trying to go to high school or college out of high school, right? So what's your destination in D.A.C? Set it. When do you want to be at the SVP rank? When do you want to be at the rank in D.A.C where you're granted equity in D.A.C? When do you want to reach that rank? When do you want the car allowance coming your way? When do you want the expense accounts coming your way? By what month? Do you want D.A.C paying for your car? We can go lease a brand new car and go, D.A.C's paying for it. When do you want that by? And you go, well, Dave, that doesn't move. If that doesn't move you, and I think it probably should move a lot of you, but if that doesn't move you, then what is it that you're moved by? I can tell you right now, one of the greatest motivations I have for D.A.C is, number one, to have 1,000 people making 50 grand a year. That's one of my motivations. And the second is to give 50% of our profit away to help what I call the ministry. Those are my two biggest drivers. Those are my two biggest drivers right now, more than anything. It's more than helping business owners grow. That's obviously, it's a motivation. That's why we're in that industry. But to help 1,000 of you be making 50 grand a year, I know there's going to be hundreds of you making a lot more than 500,000 a year, and there'll be dozens making millions a year. And to have 1,000 people making $50,000 a year, I'm sorry, 10,000. Forgive me, 10,000 people making 50,000 a year. And to have 10,000 people making 50,000 a year, you can only imagine how many people are making $3,000, $4,000 a month, 2,000 a month, 1,000 a month. So that's the ultimate goal. And to also set up contingency. So my destination is David's dead. David's gone. 2 generations from now, they still have the same culture in D.A.C. And they still have a passion to help entrepreneurs own a business, and still have a passion to bring a franchise type model to the street that does what McDonald's does, but without the fee. Gives a successful business to people who are willing to work for it. McDonald's has something unique about them. They require you work full-time for them if you buy a franchise. You can't be a silent investor. You have to be an active investor. You must work at your franchise or you don't get to own one. You think they've learned something? It's critical that you've got an owner's mentality in that building at all times, or at least leading it. Who's your owner's mentality in your living room? Who's taking your owner's mentality to bed at night? Who's taking your owner's mentality to the dinner table? When you sit down for dinner, do you care whether you got your work done or not? Do you even think about it? Do you even think about what you did for D.A.C before dinner? This is the leadership locker room. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think it's more important than anything D.A.C does. You can look in the D.A.C when, we've got the cool status updates now on the business funding, as we talked about Friday, and there's some tweaking in there, getting better. You're going to be able to see your group reports one day on that. You'll start seeing your other services soon. All your residuals and everything will be caught up before you know it, and everything will be behind us. We got this new app coming out that's going to give you guys a marketing edge over everyone in this industry. It's the leading app, I think, in the direct business, home-based business space. We'll be the only company not charging you to have it. The only one not charging you to have it. We're paying for it, so you don't have to. And it's going to give you an edge. And you know what? At that point, it's, my high school could have got me into the Michigan Business School. I didn't take advantage of it. I was on a different destination. So once all the things are in place and all the excuses are removed, they're already removed, frankly. When I got out of General Motors, when I was an employee and I got out of GM building my own business, guess what? What was my email address? Didn't have one. What was the website I sent people to? Didn't have one. What was the video I played? Didn't have one. Where was the PDF document? They didn't have one. They had one little 3-fold brochure. That's it. Where was the comp plan overview? Didn't exist. Go to the Saturday training and hope the person in front of the room explains it well. So all the things that people say, we need it updated this. Hey, I understand the standard is here and we need to get it there. But if you think that the lack of a video on a product is why you don't have customers, then you're giving yourself a good, valid excuse to not succeed. The reason you don't have customers is you're not talking to people about being a customer. That's all. That's the only reason. There was a time when that was the only way to get customers. Now, I understand videos help and websites help. You've got great websites for free that you can use. Great websites. They convert. They've helped thousands of clients get funding. They're proven. So, destination, overhaul, course correct. Define your destination. If you already know what your destination is, but you know you're not on track, what are you going to do? You turn ahead. Quit looking in the rearview mirror about what you did wrong. I could have beat myself up about high school my whole time. Fortunately, I mentioned to my mom and dad, hey, I'm thinking about going to Michigan business school. And blah, 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 blah. And you get in, we'll help you pay. We'll actually pay for it. Well, that's awesome. Head down, let's roll. I was going whether they're going to pay for it or not, right? But the point is, you course correct, literally course correct. And you can have whatever you want to have in life, whatever. And the last thing I want to say as I'm watching it, whether you love Elon Musk or not, doesn't matter for this story. Elon Musk will go down in history as one of the greatest inventors ever. He's the Thomas Edison of our day. Whether you believe it or not, look around. And I will tell you that I was watching an interview that he did the other day on CNBC. If you didn't see it, you should check it out. And they're kind of calling him to task for how he tweets and what he says. He owns Twitter now, and they're calling him to task for what he tweets and what he says and how it can hurt the stock price and what he says about different things and how advertisers are saying, we're going to pull out of advertising at Twitter then, and go look it up. And I love his response. It took him about 15 seconds staring off into nowhere. After he goes, don't you think you're doing harm to your shareholders? And don't you think you're doing harm to the profitability of your company? And shouldn't you, as the CEO of the company, think differently of it? See, visionaries don't care about the shareholders' profitability or the shareholders' stock value. They're not doing it for stock value. I'm not building D.A.C. for D.A.C.'s profit level. I want to give half away. That's why I want it to be profitable. I want to have tens of thousands of people making 50 grand. That's how I want it to be profitable. I'm not concerned if one of you says, David, you're wrong for saying you want to honor God on your website. Sorry, I'm saying it. If you don't like it, that's okay, but I'm going to say it. You don't have to agree. That's all right. You don't have to be involved here. So what does he say? He looks off into Neverland. For a minute, he comes back and reminds him of a movie. You can offer me all the money and offer the power. I don't care about it. He doesn't care if it affects the stock price when he says how he feels. When he speaks the truth, he doesn't care if the stock price tanks. If he cared about that stuff, he wouldn't have launched Tesla, the car. He would have had all the reasons why you can't. You can't listen to the naysayers and change the world. You have to believe in what you believe in here. If you've got a business idea that has nothing to do with D.A.C., but there's something inside you just don't have the courage to do, start it now. Hang up off of this Zoom and say, I'm done with D.A.C., and start doing whatever that dream is. Go for it. Go for it. And if you love the vision of what D.A.C. is doing, and you say, I want to help change the network marketing space to prove free without overexpensive prices, overexpensive products, and without all these ongoing fees and stuff, I want to prove that can be the most lucrative way to build a home-based business rather than the rarity. I want to prove it, then help me do it. We'll give you equity in the company when you reach the top ranks. We want to give you all kinds of value for what you've built. Do it with us. Do it with us. So I've got to leave here in 9 minutes, but I want to open this up if there's any questions about anything. So we've got 9 minutes for Q&A. If you could, Morgan or Sharon. But before we go to that, last thing, your destination, is it solid? You know where you're going with D.A.C. Is it solid? Write it down. Don't even eat lunch today until you know solid where your destination is. Number one. Number two, are you on path? Are you on path? If not, course correct. It's a flipping of the switch. I'm course correcting, and then write it down. You already know what you need to do. You don't need to be trained on how to connect a great service with customers. You don't need training on that. Get yourself educated on the products, yes. But if you can invite people to your birthday party, and you can invite people to a wedding, and you can invite people to a pool party, and you can invite people to a graduation, and you can invite someone to your anniversary get together for your parents, you know how to promote something. You offer and you find out who's interested and who's not. That's it. You don't need any other sales training than that. Anyone else is making money selling sales training. Everything else is BS. Communicate value in something to people and they'll believe in you. 9-year-olds can sell better Girl Scout cookies than Oreo because they just go up and say, can you help my troops? These cookies are good. Can you support the Girl Scout? These are good. That works. What are you doing to communicate with customers? That's how you got to do. So course correct, define your destination, course correct where you need to course correct. Eliminate all the anchors in your life that make you not believe in yourself. Eliminate them. Don't talk to them. Don't consider them. If you're married to them, that's okay. Ignore their negative feeling of your success. Ignore it. But by golly, you better give them a reason to start believing in you. Maybe they don't believe because you've been in 20 businesses and you switch after 3 months and you never make it in any of them because you never give any of them a real shot. You don't get to just keep quitting. No one's going to believe in someone who just keeps quitting or keeps sitting on the sidelines. You got these drop cards in a box and they never get out of your box. And your wife or your husband's going, why'd you buy 1,000 of those things? You don't even take them out and hand them out. So don't give them a reason to not believe. But if you're doing everything it takes and it just hasn't happened yet, you know what? It took me a couple of years of recovering before I was able to get into that university, right? It's going to take you some time to build the customer client base and to have the funnel of all the customers. It's going to take time. Now, tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow, 2 things. Don't forget, we got our business opportunity meeting at 8. Then we're going to do an ERC training at 9. So BizOp meeting at 8, ERC training at 9. And then Wednesday, 11:30 a.m., we got Wade Cordell doing our Bank Breezy training for D.A.C. agents. So 2 big events this week, 8 o'clock Tuesday, BizOp overview, bring your guests. What a good way to course correct. 9 o'clock ERC training. We got 1 year to eat that up. Big credits. We got millions of dollars in credits right now coming. A lot of commissions going to be paid out because of it. And all of you can benefit from that still. So we're going to do a training on that Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, and there'll be other announcements too. And then Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. Bank Breezy training. All right. So I'm down to 5 minutes of time. Let's see what you got. Lisa Campbell's got her hand up. Why don't we start with her?
Yes. Good morning. Dave, you're on fire. I cannot miss these meetings. And, I express emphatically to everyone to get in on these meetings. Wow. So here, we're not able to post up a chat for everyone. They're just for yourself and the moderators. But I'd like to request permission to provide my contact information because I really want to team up with someone here.
Okay. You know what you can do, Lisa? The best way to do that is go to the Facebook group. Anyone listening, if you want to team up with anyone, if you want to have a powwow, kind of like what I was talking about when we were all 4 of us were going for the same goal, and you want to have someone we highly recommend it be your team leader because of the game plan you're doing with them. But by all means, go to the Facebook community and put it in that you want to team up with someone. And just know that if you're going there, don't go there as a victim who, at least I'm not talking to you, I'm protecting you. You're not a victim at all. You're a go-getter. But don't go there as a victim and blaming your lack of success on not having someone to team. Go and take advantage of teaming up, but don't go there and be a whiner. Don't go there and drag Lisa or others like Lisa down. We all care about each other, but there's a lot of people who love to just talk about their problems. And this is what we say. Go to Facebook, leave your problems in your trunk. They'll be there when you get back in your car. You don't need to come to a party and ruin it with your stuff. And you don't need to go to the D.A.C. Facebook wall and ruin it with your stuff. Go there and build a partnership with someone and go get your dreams together. Be on course together. Go make it happen together and team up. So you can do it right there, Lisa. And the reason we had to turn off group chat is because we had some people using this room, because we keep it open, as a way to come in and start texting a bunch of people other things. And so we have to protect it.
Of course. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great idea, by the way, Lisa. Way to be proactive at getting a partner. All right. Who else do we got?
We have another Lisa. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, Lisa H.
Thank you so much. Great day, everyone. I am fairly new. Actually, I want to say this is my first month here. And I love everything you have provided, David, sir. But I like to do cold calling and was just wondering how I can make that work with what you already kind of put out there.
Yeah, I would say there's a couple things. Number one, we call it care calling.
Care calling, like that.
Care calling, because it starts with an attitude that you're offering assistance to a business. You care about business owners, that they're go-getters. They got the odds stacked against them. 6 out of 10 are breaking even or losing money. 6 out of 10 are breaking even or losing money. And you offer them a revenue-based way to get capital that they can't get at their bank. So you're almost like first line of, the front line of capitalism. The business owners are, but then we're the front line helping them. Right. So we call it care calling. Number one. Number two, there's rules and regulations against calling people. So you want to make sure anyone you're calling is not on the do not call registry. You can't call consumers that are on the do not call registry. Now you can call business owners, that's different. But we still don't recommend you just start. First of all, you can't use an automated dialer. It's illegal.
Right. No.
You can't just call and drop voicemails. That's illegal.
Right.
I'm actually going to respond to this right here. That's why I got to leave. This is a 35-page lawsuit that I got based on someone making calls to someone's mobile phone who's on the do not call list to us rather than the agent, right? And so never cold call or care call someone who isn't a business that you don't have a personalized reasons to call them. Like if you see an advertisement in your town, you see a truck drive by, it's okay to call the number on the side of that truck. It's an advertised business line, obviously.
Yes.
You're not violating what they call the Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act. That's what it's called, TCPA. So I would say read the telemarketing laws in our telemarketing and marketing document in our agent resource center, just so you can see what you can and can't do. You don't want to cross any lines because you could pay handsomely for it. But as far as care calling, we recommend you call numbers locally. You call local, or pick an industry that you want to call your local industry that you're going to primarily focus on, because then you'll start hearing the same type things. If you're calling just roofing companies, you're going to hear the same type stories over and over, the struggles with getting personnel or the struggles with getting roofing supplies, and they got the sales, they can't get the roof shingles. You'll start hearing all the same type things, and you'll start coming up with the same strategies to give over and over. So, but to me, I think there's nothing that beats being the local hands and feet in your town. So that means in your town, there's a local area code that you're calling. If you're calling in your same area code, that you don't look like a telemarketer, although telemarketers mask caller IDs now, but you don't look like that. And you can start out by saying, I saw your truck, or I drove by your business at, I live local. You can let them know you're a local. You relate. You don't know me directly. However, I happen to work right around the corner from your office. That is not a telemarketer. That starts out a call. So we say, you don't know me directly, but now you relate with them somehow. I just saw your truck on M59. I just saw your truck on Main Street. I just saw your sign on my neighbor's front lawn that you're their new landscaper. Whatever the reason is that you're relating, it's not a warm market, but it's like a semi-warm market. It's not cold market. That's why it's not a cold call. It's semi-warm because you relate with them. They're local. So you want to start there and then use the training that you hear, the training in the Agent Resource Center on how to approach clients. It doesn't matter whether they're over the phone or not. People challenge me on this. I shouldn't say people challenge me. Some people disagree with this. They're wrong. I have more clients than them, and I make a lot less calls. So I can just say that what I'm saying is, I think the most important thing, people feel you before they listen to you. People sense your care and concerns before they listen to the words you say. You can say it all wrong, but really care, Lisa, and you'll win. If you let them know, hey, listen, I just have and think about this for a moment. 6 out of 10 businesses, they're paying employees, they're losing money or breaking even, and they don't have collateral to put up. They got a home to pay for and rent and kids and tennis shoes and everything that an employee has who's living paycheck to paycheck. The difference is that business owner may not be taking a paycheck. When you think of that, I've been that person. So I have a bleeding heart for them that I just want to make sure. I don't care if they take money or not. I do care that they know it exists. It's my job to make sure they exist. They know it exists, and it's your job. And if you can you hear it in my voice change when I think about it. They do too. So people call with a script. Hey, I was just calling to buy. Hey, you don't know me directly, but I just saw your sign on buy. You know what I mean? So make sure you care about the person you're calling, even though you don't know them. If you hear in their voice, they're busy and frustrated. So you know what? It's not the right time. I'm not trying to take you away from what you got your hands on. Just love helping business owners. I'll try you another time. Is there a better time? And then you go, what do you got? Just tell me what you got. They'll sense things. But follow the training. But more importantly, feel yourself before you call. Empathize with them. You'll win.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, Demetrius, and then Sean, and we'll be done. I'm a little over.
Yes, David. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, sir. Thank you very much. I was on a government site. This is something that you might not know, and you already might know it. They've done something to the D.A.C. that's good. They've added in 2021, there was only 3 quarters you could claim. Now it's the full 21. Did you know that?
I'm not aware of that, but I'm talking with them. Our partners at D.A.C. Pros just sent me something yesterday. So I would just say, I hope you're absolutely right. I have no reason to say you're not. But I don't want to spread the word yet on that till we confirm it. So
it was a government site, David. It was the IRS site. So I saw. Yeah,
beautiful.
I thought you might. I just wanted to share that with you, David. Okay,
thank you. I appreciate it, Demetrius. I appreciate it, Morgan. If you could reach out to Jeremy and ask him to confirm that's the case. I'm believing what Demetrius says is true. And then we'll put it on the Facebook wall, and we'll definitely be talking about it tomorrow night. Demetrius, rock on, buddy. This is the second time you brought something to our attention at ERCs, and last time you were spot on correct. So I believe you are this time as well. But I don't want to tell a client that until we confirm it with our partners. So let's make sure it's not a misunderstanding of what's on the site. Don't believe it is, but let's find out. So Morgan, can you check with Jeremy to confirm that? Beautiful. All right, thank you. Which would just mean a little bit more money is available. Okay. Well, Sean, you be last, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. So just a quick question for tomorrow morning Zoom. You said that Wade was doing the Bank Breezy Zoom? Wednesday, sorry. Morning. Yep, yeah. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm sorry. Been a busy Monday so far for me. Are we using this Zoom link for the Wednesday morning trainings?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, that's it?
That's it. My only question today.
All right. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, folks, then let's end with this. Let's fill tomorrow night. Fill tomorrow night with your team. Get on the phone, promote to all your team to be there. Tuesday night, BizOp overview, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock business training for ERCs and some other announcements. Don't be surprised if the BizOp doesn't have some announcements too. It may, no guarantee. We're trying to get some things handled prior to that meeting, as always. It's our once a month. It's kind of like our, let's launch it then, right? Let's get some things on then. No guarantee we will. And then Wednesday, that's going to be huge. Wade is really excited. Wade's really excited about giving some updated trainings that aren't just on our regular videos. Go watch the funding training so you got the basics down, but he's going to be bringing some new things each week that can help us go to the next level of expertise. And so we appreciate him. We appreciate everything the Bank Breezy's team's doing, all the D.A.C. corporate team, and all of you. We're all one family. Let's go get it done. And by the way, your grandkids will thank you for earning equity in D.A.C. They'll thank you. And you'll be able to pass that down for generations. And you can put in the will that they can't sell it. They can just benefit from the cash cow and help the thing continue to grow. It's up to you. There's all kinds of things. So don't just, you're not just a rep in an MLM company. That's not who we are. You're part of a cause. You're part of a mission. You're helping to make a difference. Come help me do it. I want to help you do it. Let's team together. Let's go get it done. Course correct. God bless you all.